People say wicked stepmothers only exist in fairy tales. They say real life is not that cruel. I used to believe that too, until the day my mother died, and my father brought another woman into our home. My name is Chitara, and this is my story. I was 10 years old when my mother died. Not suddenly. Not peacefully. She was sick for a long time. The kind of sickness that slowly steals someone away while you're still looking at them. Every night, I sat beside her mat, watching her chest rise and fall, counting each breath like it was a blessing. I was always afraid that one day, it would stop moving. My mother was thin then, her eyes sunken, her voice weak. But when she smiled at me, it still felt like the whole world was warm. She would pull me closer and whisper my name, Chitara, like she was afraid the wind might carry me away. No matter what happens, she would say softly, be strong. She said it so often that it became a song in my head. I didn't understand why she said it, like she was preparing me for something. I didn't know she was teaching me how to survive without her. The night she died, the rain was heavy. Thunder shook the roof like the sky itself was angry. I held her hand when it went cold. I remember calling her again and again, shaking her gently, then violently, begging her to answer me. When she didn't, I screamed until my throat burned and my voice broke into pieces. After that night, nothing ever felt the same. My father became quiet, like a man who had misplaced his soul. The house became empty, even when people were inside it. And I became invisible. 1 year after my mother's death, my father told me he had met someone. He said it carefully, like he was afraid I would shatter if he spoke too loudly. Her name was Margaret. The first time I saw her, she smiled too much. Her lips stretched wide, but her eyes were sharp, cold. Like she was measuring me, weighing my worth. She brought gifts, expensive ones. She laughed loudly, filling the house with noise that felt fake. She called me my daughter, but her hand never once touched my head. Everyone around us said she was kind. They said she would take care of me. They said my father needed a woman. I wanted to believe them so badly that I ignored the tight feeling in my chest every time she looked at me. The wedding was small. No music. No real joy. When she moved into our house, I moved out of my own room. She said it was temporary. It never was. At first, she was sweet, but only when my father was around. She cooked. She cleaned. She smiled like an angel. But the moment he left for work, the house changed. Her voice became cold. Chitara, wash all the plates. Chitara, sweep the compound. Chitara, why are you standing like a goat? I was still a child, but I was doing the work of a grown woman. When I complained, even softly, she would narrow her eyes and say, "Do you want people to say I'm wicked?" And when my father came home, she would sigh dramatically and shake her head. This child is stubborn. I try my best. My father believed her. Every single time, food became a problem after that. She would serve my father large portions, then look at me and say, "You already ate in the afternoon." Most times, I hadn't eaten since morning. I learned how to drink water slowly, swallowing carefully, tricking my stomach into thinking it was full. I learned how to sleep early, because hunger hurts more when you're awake and thinking. One day, I fainted at school. When the teacher asked questions, Margaret cried when she heard. She wiped her eyes and said, "She doesn't eat well. She's picky." That night, she beat me. Not loudly. Not in anger. With patience. Like it was a lesson she had been waiting to teach, she told my father lies about me. That I was rude. That I stole money. That I talked back. Once, she broke a plate and said I did it. I denied it. She slapped me so hard my ears rang. "Never call me a liar," she said. That night, my father punished me without listening. I stopped explaining after that. Silence became my language. When I was 14, she sent me to fetch water late in the evening. The path was lonely, and the sky was already dark. Fear followed me like a shadow. When I returned, tired and shaking, the gate was locked. I knocked. I begged. She stood on the balcony and looked down at me calmly, like I was nothing. "Sleep outside," she said. "Maybe you'll learn." I slept on the bare ground that night. Cold. Afraid. Crying silently so the neighbors wouldn't hear. I hugged my knees and asked myself what I had done to deserve such hatred. In the morning, she opened the gate like nothing happened. That was the day I realized something important. She didn't hate me. She wanted me gone. Something changed inside me after that. I stopped crying. I stopped hoping she would love me. Instead, I watched. I learned. I endured. I focused on school. Books became my escape. Dreams became my secret weapon. Every insult, every beating, every hunger pain, I stored it. Not for revenge. For survival. Years later, when I was 18, a neighbor finally spoke up. She told my father everything. The beatings. The hunger. The lies. Margaret denied it, of course. But this time, the truth had evidence, scars, witnesses. Truth, my father cried. For the first time, he looked at me and really saw me. Margaret left the house that same week. No apology. No shame. Just anger that she had been exposed. She took my childhood. She took my safety. She took my innocence. But she failed to take my future. Today, I stand stronger than she ever imagined. And when people ask me how I survived, I tell them this: some stepmothers are wicked. Some homes are war zones. But even in darkness, a child can grow into light. And if you are listening to my voice right now, living in silence, thinking no one sees you, hear me. You are not weak. You are not alone. And your story is not over.